Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is going to be a sort of mini Revolution haul slash review. I've just realised that I think I've changed my intro again. Anyways, doesn't matter. So yeah, it's going to be a very small haul and review because I'm trying to restrict my makeup intake. I know it probably doesn't seem like that because I've just done a Daxie beauty review, which will be linked up here. But I needed a new concealer, and then I made the mistake of going onto Revolution's site and I got distracted. So I've only bought 5 things, but I thought I would show you guys and then test the products and give my opinion on them. I will say now it is not part of the new Revolution XX collection that has just come out, but those products were kind of out of my price range at the minute. I really don't have the money to be spending on makeup. So all of the products I've got have been out on Revolution's site for absolutely ages. They were just some things that I thought I would pick up. And yeah, I thought I'd give you a quick little review and my thoughts on them. So basically I've got my box here and I'm just going to quickly show you what it is that I bought, and then I will do like a sort of makeup look with them, but I'll only show you the clips of these products. I'm not going to talk through anything else that I use on my face, as I have already put primer on. And I will be using eyeshadow and stuff because I haven't bought any because I didn't need to buy another palette. So if you want to know any of the products that I've used throughout the video that aren't from this box, leave a comment or watch one of my other videos, because I tend to talk about products in other videos, just won't today. So starting off with why I actually placed an order in the first place. Also, fun fact, this is the first time I've ever directly ordered from Revolution. All my Revolution products came from superdrug stores, so this was fun. Anyway, so the reason I got makeup to start with, the reason I ordered more makeup to start with, is because I need a new concealer. Because I've been using the Revolution Conceal and Define for ages and it's completely gone. There's like no product left and it dried my face out really bad anyways. So I was just meant to get like another tube of concealer, but like not that one. But I ended up getting this Cover and Conceal palette because it was reduced. And I feel like with the foundation that I've bought, which I'll show you in a second, it might be a bad combination. I can't get it open. It might be a bad combination of makeup types. They might not blend well, but I want to try anyways. And the reason I bought a palette was it has a little bit more variety. It is still the light, so it is the lightest shades they have, but it has a little bit more variety. So when I'm covering up special effects pieces, or if I want to do makeup on like, I don't know, a friend or my sister or my partner, I have some very slight variation, because most people I'm friends with or my partner or whatever have the same skin tones, just ever so slight variations. And then obviously if I were to do makeup on other people, I probably wouldn't be using Revolution. I'd probably buy a more expensive brand, but there are other palettes like this in darker tones. So it does look very similar on camera, and even in person there isn't much variation in the colours, but obviously this is just their 8 lightest shades. So mine is the whitest one, and then there kind of is variations. It's less of like skin tone variation and more of the undertone, so whether you're more yellow toned or more pink or kind of neutral. So yeah, that's the first thing I got. That's what I actually needed. Then I decided to get another foundation because my MUA Pro Base foundation that I usually use dries my face out, and I do still have my Revolution like camouflage one, but that's kind of old and probably expired, so I don't really want to use it anymore. So I got a Revolution Pro foundation drops in the lightest shade, which is F1. I haven't opened this one yet, but it's meant to be more of a light coverage and more dewy, because as I said, my MUA Pro Base one is a lot more matte. It goes very cakey and it's very drying, so for somebody with very dry skin I literally have to put layers and layers and layers of oil and primer on just to get it to stop caking. So that's why I've gone for a light coverage dewy one, so we'll see how that works. And no, it might not work well with that kind of concealer, so that might have been a mistake. And then the next 3 products, I'm sure I got some kind of deal. I think it was like a 3 for 2 offer on certain Makeup Revolution products on their site. So the first thing was actually something I kind of needed. It's a Revolution Glow Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray, and the reason I got this is to add to my mattifying problem. When I got my first setting spray last year, it's a Maybelline Lasting Fix, and I sort of just picked it up and I was like, that will do. It was like 10 quid, and it's mattifying, and so it comes out in this big thick mist that like leaves splodges, and if it does do anything it just makes it more matte. So I got this one. I have already kind of like tested the spritziness of it, and it's a lot more of a fine mist. Stinks of chemicals, they didn't even try to cover that up, but yeah, it's more of a light mist, so we'll see if that affects my makeup in any way. And then the next thing is this double-ended felt eyeliner pen, thick and thin liquid eyeliner in black. So I've already kind of tested this in the back of my hand, so you can see it has two different thicknesses. This is because the eyeliner I currently have is like a liquid pot with a brush, and I want to do more looks with eyeliner, especially as I've just bought lashes and eyeliner kind of pulls the lashes in. But it's very difficult, it's started to get clumpy, the brush has got bits sticking off, and because my hands shake when I'm focusing, it often goes wobbly. So I was hoping that perhaps getting a felt pen type might make it easier. Wow, this video is really long, whoops. So yeah, I was hoping this might make my job a little bit easier. And then the last thing I definitely didn't need, but did I need any of this really? So it is this cheek kit, Make It Count. So there was a few different, like, I don't want to say shades, but kind of like tones of these, I think. This may be a little dark for me, but that's fine, it just means if I want to use it on anybody else I can. And I could even use it as eyeshadows. So I don't think my camera does justice, and the light is like right behind, I'm right in front of a window. But yeah, this is a palette, so it's kind of like a highlighty palette, probably I think blush as well. What have I just dropped? Dropped my remote. So it has this nice gold shade up at the top. Then this one is more of like, I don't know really, sort of like a rose gold. It's more deep, kind of dusty, rosy colour. This is a lighter, more white gold, kind of champagne-y. Can you tell that I don't really know my makeup colours? And then this is, it reminds me of Mars. It's kind of like a rusty, deep rose colour, with gold running through it. I did some super light swatches, like I literally just like touched my finger on them and then swatched up my arm. You can kind of still see the rose one at the top there, and they went on super well. They look really nice. They've got a proper like shimmer to them, and I've been wanting to get a new highlight for a while, so I'm excited to try this. I just got my finger trapped in that. So because I've already primed my face, I'm just gonna knock the foundation on the floor. Yeah, I'm going to get that foundation and I'm going to test it a little bit with my hand first, and then I'm going to apply the foundation and see what I think of it. I will be applying this with this sponge. Don't know where that black spot came from. Please excuse how manky this is, I am going to wash it. So yeah, it just comes with like this dropper. Don't know why I feel the need to smell it, but I've discovered that Revolution products kind of have a bit of a weird smell. So I'm just going to test it on the back of my hand. Now I already know that this should be my shade, because I have the Camouflage foundation in the same shade. Basically whichever one is their lightest is my shade pretty much. So I've just tried a little bit on my hand. You won't really be able to see it, but it does look more dewy than the current foundations I have. So I'm excited to give this a go. So yeah, this video is 10 minutes long and I haven't even started putting makeup on my face yet, oh god. Okay, so you can't really see it very well on camera. Immediate first impressions, very light coverage, but like not bad, because you couldn't really see before, but my chin is kind of breaking out a bit at the minute, so it's very red, but that's actually blended out quite nicely. It's definitely really dewy, it's quite nice. I'm going to see how it dries down, if it dries down. It still looks a little cakey, but I think that's just my skin. But it's quite nice to put a foundation on and to not immediately look dried out. I have realised I've made a mistake, because I always put my eyeshadow on and then my foundation, but... Now, people did say that you can add like... Oh, interesting, usually I get wrinkles here. People did say you can add like 2 layers and build it up, so I think I might add just a tiny bit more, and then I'm going to try the concealer. So now that I've added a bit more, it is obviously looking a bit more cakey, because there is more product, and You can't really see on camera, but like it is starting to crease up a little around my mouth. But I found a lot of foundations do that. Every single one I've tried has done that. So I'm now going to go in with the concealer brush into the lightest shade, which is this one here. So I'm just going to apply that under my eyes. It does look like it's quite thick, so that might not go with this kind of foundation, but I'll give it a go. Yeah, it's not really working well with this brush, and I think it's the fault of the brush, not the concealer itself. Do you have a clean one anywhere? Why are none of my flat brushes clean? Oh my god. It feels very cream painty. As someone that does face paint, it feels quite cream painty when it applies, but that's not really surprising given it looks like a very similar kind of formula. I'm also curious to see whether this could be used as an eyeshadow base, because I tend to use concealer as an eyeshadow base these days, or just the foundation, so. So I was a little worried that having that kind of cream paint texture would cause it to, I don't know, like cake up or not blend well, but it seemed to blend quite nicely. Definitely has brightened under my eyes. There is like a lot of creasing and wrinkling going on here, but also I have like wrinkled bags under my eyes like a 40-year-old woman anyways. No offense, ma'am. So I don't think that's really the concealer at fault. So I think because I haven't got anything else base makeup wise, I'm going to go do the rest of my base makeup off camera, and my eyeshadow, and then I'll come back and kind of tell you how I felt it applied on top of the foundation, and then I can test the highlighter and the eyeliner and the setting spray. Okay, so I'm going to try and zoom this in a little, but I don't think it'll show on this camera. As I was going around my makeup, you can't really tell, but I have like bronzed and contoured just as I normally would. And from a distance, it does look more dewy, and it does look less obviously dry than my other foundation, which I thought, oh, that's great, okay. But like here, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it on camera with the light shining on my face, but it's like broken up. Like, I don't know whether it's reacted with my primer or whether it's just because that particular patch is dry. Like up here, it's kind of gone a bit wrinkled, but to be fair, as I've said before, I've got wrinkles like an old woman. But like, it really has broken up here, and it looks like it's flaky, which is really weird because it's usually matte foundations that do that. Can't see it on camera, but from a distance it looks okay. I've also accidentally matched my eyeshadow to this palette that I'm going to use. That looks brown, but it's really not. Not quite sure how I've managed that, but anyways. I'm going to use this really red one as a blush. But from what I learned from swatching, it is really bright, so I'm just going to do like the lightest little bit. I'm literally just going to like tap, because it's very, very dark. It's a lot darker than my skin tone. Like, yeah, I can already see, you probably can't see it on camera, but I can already see that's fairly pink, and I'm not actually in the sunlight. When I do my makeup over here, I'm ever so slightly, also I think part of that pink's come off my eyeshadow. When I'm sat over here, even though I am like kind of technically in front of the window, there is more shadows from like my bed and everything, and then I go up to the window, I look in the light, and my makeup's like all patchy and like bright hot pink. I'm like, oh, didn't notice that before. And yes, I blushed the end of my nose. There's a patch there, and I know that came off my eyeshadow because I accidentally caught my face with a brush. It's done the same on my nose, like a big flaked off patch. That's really gross. That's not very positive. I've kind of made myself look tanned, but not in a good way. So then to highlight my face, I think I'm going to use the lightest one, which is like the champagne kind of shade. I look very burnt round about here. I look sunburned. This champagne shade is probably a little dark for me as well. I think I've kind of got a whole palette that's too dark for me. However, because I've kind of bronzed my face and accidentally done really dark blush, this highlight works. Like it makes more sense when the rest of my face has got darker shaded makeup on. Unfortunately, it means my face does not match my very, very white neck, but that's fine. Of course, we have to highlight the end of our absolutely massive nose, draw more attention to it. I'm also going to use this slightly more rose gold, like pinky looking shade at the top to kind of like highlight my brow bone, seeing as the eyeshadow is pink. So now that I've sort of done my base as best as possible, my general view so far is I'm not quite sure what I think about this foundation. I bought a lighter, dewier foundation hoping that it would stop the flakiness problem that I get with foundations, and maybe it's because I put quite a lot on, but other people said that they layered it up and it worked fine. So I don't know whether it's a reaction with the primer or whether it is just my skin, but there is a lot of areas that you can't really see on this bad quality camera where it is like patched and sort of flaked, which is not something I'm keen on. But from a distance it doesn't look terrible, so yeah, I'm not sure. So the next step is something that's scaring me, because I'm quite proud of this cute little sort of tutti frutti sunsetty kind of look I've got going on my eyes, but I'm about to potentially ruin it with eyeliner. So basically this is the eyeliner pen, so it's just a little small pen, and one side has this camera doesn't focus. One side has this thin little brush, and then the other side obviously has this thicker. So I'll use the thinner one. I'm gonna have to go do this off camera. I know I'm supposed to be reviewing it on camera, but I'm gonna go do it off, just because I feel more confident doing it off camera. And then I'll also apply my lashes, but I think I'll talk about the liner first, and then I'll see how it looks with the lashes on. I'm nervous. This might ruin the whole look, even though my whole look so far is cracked and sunburnt. So I had to go apply the eyeliner off camera and like in the sun, just so I could see clearer. It looks a little uneven, I think, because I made the mistake of it looked okay, and then I was like, maybe it's just a bit bigger, and then it kind of just went whoop. Generally, I found that the pen, where have I got the pen? I found that this applied alright. I mostly just used the small side, just so I have more control. The one thing I will say, I don't know whether you will see on camera, is over the top of the gold, it doesn't look as black. It seemed to really struggle, and because obviously I'm used to being able to just dip it in a pot and get more product, you kind of have to press down with this to get enough product out, so it doesn't look terrible, as in the product, not my application. The product doesn't look terrible, it's just a little bit more work, but it is more precise. The negative thing with going into the sun is realising just how patchy and cakey this whole section is. It is so bad, but oh well. So I'm quickly going to throw on some mascara and attempt again with my false lashes. It never goes well, it ends in arguments with my face. And then the last thing will be this. Actually, I suppose I could put this on now. There's not really much point putting setting spray over my lashes, is there? Let's just put some setting spray on now. I'll also need to put some lipstick on. It does kind of smell of chemicals, so it doesn't smell very pleasant. I'm hoping this might illuminate my face a bit and distract from the fact that my whole face here is just this cakey, disgusting, cracked mess. Don't think that did anything. But then there's a lot of people that say, does setting spray really do anything? No. This video is like 20 minutes long. I'm just going to go apply some lashes now. I don't think the setting spray really did much. It certainly didn't seem to illuminate my face, but oh well. So this is the finished look using the products. Please excuse the lipstick. I think this lip has gone off. Like, it was really thick and cakey to put on, so it's made my lips look really uneven. I'm just going to do like a final review of the product. Also, I am aware that these lashes have ruined my eyeliner and my eyeshadow. Me and lashes don't get on. So basically, like, a final review. This foundation, if you've got dry skin, or if you're trying to use this as like a lighter coverage thinking it'll be better, I would say it's a waste. I watched other people's reviews and videos and they seem to like it, but like, yeah, it just didn't seem to work for me. The concealer palette worked perfectly fine. The areas where this is look perfectly fine. I actually used it on my eyes as well before I put my eyeshadow on, and there's no patchiness, there's no streakiness, so this works really well. The eyeliner, I think the eyeliner works pretty good. It's definitely a lot more controlled, it's a lot easier than like brush liquid types that I've tried. The one thing, as I said, is it does seem to struggle on glitter especially. It was dragging a little bit, so it kind of takes a little bit of working up to, but other than that, works perfectly fine. This is really nice, I really like this. I definitely got like a palette that was a little too dark for me. This would definitely work better for someone with a darker skin tone, or someone that tans, like someone with fake tan on, just because it is very dark on me. Like, I put a little bit of the gold highlight on, but against how pale my face is, it kind of looks a bit ridiculous. It only works because my eyes are gold, but other than that, it is really, really nice. It applied really nicely. It's not got like loads of dusty fallout, and it feels really nice to put on. And last of all, the setting spray. Again, I don't think it's worth it. It's not even like it's a bad product, it just seems to not do anything. I know a lot of people say that. A lot of people are like, setting spray is just water with some extra chemicals, doesn't do anything. So I was just hoping to make it, like, make my makeup look a little more glowy, a little more dewy. But honestly, the only thing that's doing that for me right now is my highlight. And the only reason I'm so shiny on camera is because I'm right behind the sun, like right behind the window. So final review, half the products worked, I think. It's really just that foundation just wasn't worth it, but yeah, that is the look that I've managed to create with the new products. Hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like, click subscribe, and see you next time.